Good morning, guys. Today's Sabbath school lesson starts the week off by talking about Esther. And if you don't know who Esther is, you can actually read about her in the book that bears her name, Esther. That's her Persian name. Her Hebrew name was Hadassah. Anyhow, the introduction to her story talks about how the king of Persia, Ahasuerus, I know I didn't say that right, but that's okay. We can call him King Bob for now. Anyhow, King Bob went around and was having a party, a big party. And during this party, he had a bunch of his noblemen and some other politicians and so forth there with him, and they decided to get super drunk, which is more than just drunk, apparently. But they got super drunk, and some of the guys said, "Hey, I want to see your wife." And so he summoned Vashti, the queen, and she said, "I don't want to be made a spectacle in front of these drunk men. I'm not going to go," which was kind of brave for her, because you couldn't disobey the king, yet she did. Well, anyhow, in order not to look like a fool, the king banished her from the kingdom, and then sent out a decree saying, "I need to find a new wife." Long story short, Esther was chosen. I don't think she had much of a choice in the matter, but she was chosen anyhow. She was chosen to be part of a kingdom that did not necessarily respect her religion. In fact, as the week goes on, I'm sure we'll talk more and more about Esther and how the two religions, the Persian religion and the Hebrew religion, clashed. But she went in as a Hebrew, bearing a Persian name of Esther, to live in the palace to be the Persian king's wife. God would later use this as a big deal for the Jewish people. But for now, the question I have, and the lesson brings us out also, Paul talks about in 1 Corinthians chapter 9 being all things to all people. I became a Jew, he says, to the Jews. I became under the law to those under the law. I became what people needed me to become in order to reach them for God. Now, there's limits to this. Obviously, we can't all become alcoholics. We can't all become prostitutes. We can't all become these extreme situations and cases in order to help people that are under these situations and cases. But what does it mean in your life to become somebody to help somebody find Jesus? What does it mean to talk to a non-religious person that doesn't know Jesus? What does it mean for you to become all things to all people? How do you become a student with another student that doesn't know Jesus? How do you become a taxi driver to another taxi driver that doesn't know Jesus? How do you become these things for other people? How do you help them find Jesus? Leave your thoughts in the comments. Thanks, guys.